Yes, guys, welcome back. So today we're looking at tailoring in TBC, and what's the point of it, really? As a warrior, do you want tailoring? Probably not. As a mage, shadow priest, warlock, probably yes. Other classes included. We'll get into those later. But before we get any further, obviously, if you don't know, I stream over on Twitch more or less 7 days a week at the moment, but the set schedule is actually going to be Friday to Monday, starting in the next couple of weeks or so. So details down below. If you want to come and find me over on Twitch, get involved in the banter, growing community over there. It's absolutely fantastic to see. So thank you for all your support, not only on YouTube, but over on Twitch as well. If you like the video, give it a like. If you ain't subscribed, make sure you subscribe, because all that's going to do is help the channel grow, more content, you won't miss it. If you don't subscribe, you're going to potentially miss out on some pretty cool giveaways that are coming over the next 6 months or so. You can find the giveaway video, just watch the first 5 minutes in the description below as well. Also, don't forget, there is a hidden movie quote somewhere in this video, as with all the profession videos. Put it in the comments. Once all the profession videos are released on YouTube, I'll collate all of the people who got it right, do a live giveaway on Twitch for a month's game time or an Amazon voucher of equal value, whatever you'd prefer. But getting straight into it, so tailoring. We're going to do the same format as we've done for blacksmithing and alchemy. So first we're going to look at sort of the benefits of tailoring. Then we're going to look at the specializations of tailoring that you can go. We're going to look at what you can craft, you know, outside of the obvious items that you're going to be able to craft. Then we're going to sort of look at where you get the patterns, if there's any noteworthy ones that you can get. And then just some closing thoughts from me, really. So the benefits of tailoring is mainly for cloth wearers, obviously. But there are some classes that will benefit from it, like shamans, boomkins. Well, we'll say druids in general, because 2 of the specs can benefit from tailoring. Even paladin, maybe. I mean, I probably wouldn't go tailoring on a paladin, but you certainly can benefit from it if you chose to. So the main benefits are the healing set and the DPS set. There are also sort of smaller offsets that you can make, such as spell strike or white mend. But there's quite a few things that you can make, quality of life stuff, really, you know, that are useful to have to be able to make, such as bags. You know, being able to make bags for your alts, bags to sell on your auction house. You know, something you're going to get a lot of cloth throughout the expansion. You're going to be able to put it to good use. So it's a good money maker as well. To be fair, it's a solid profession. So I would say benefits are you can make some good gold. You have useful things that you can craft, such as bags, BOEs, all that kind of thing, and spell threads, which we're going to get onto in a minute, but that's something new, really, that's been added into TBC, which every caster DPS and healing class is going to want to use. So you're going to have another avenue that you can make gold from. This video is not going to be overly long. So I say it all the time, and then it's like 3 hours later and he's still rabbiting on, but it won't be like that, I assure you. So we've spoken about the classes that can make use of it. We'll go into a bit more detail when we're looking at the actual items that you can craft, but let's just quickly go over the specializations. So when you get to 350 tailoring, so you're in Outland, you've got 350, you've then got a choice you can make between 3 different specializations in tailoring. What specialization you choose dictates whether you can use the equipment from that particular specialization or not. So it's primal, spell, or shadow. So that's like shadow cloth, spell cloth, primal, moon cloth. So other than the obvious that you can only use the gear set that you specialize into, you actually get an extra bonus, which is you make 2 of that cloth. So all 3 specializations, you can make all 3 cloths. All the cooldowns are independent of each other, but whatever one you specialise in, you'll get 2 of that particular cloth instead of 1. So you can potentially make 4 with your cooldowns, if you like. 2 from the one you specialise in, and then 1 of each of the others. To go into the specialisations, I'll show you like I did before. You need to do a very, very short quest for each of the specialisations. But the basics, really, if you go Primal Mooncloth, is you just go to a Moonwell and use an item, then go back hand in, you're done. If you go Spell Strike, you have to go to Neverstorm. If you go Shadow Cloth, you have to go to Shadowmoon Valley. So they're all very short, simple quests to do. But if you decide you wanted to go the other way at some point, you can pay 150 gold to respec back or forward. Just change, whatever you want to do. So some of them a bit more of a pain to use your cooldown than others. In particular, Shadow Cloth is a bit of a pain because you have to go to the arse end of nowhere in Shadowmoon Valley and use it at an altar. Whereas Mooncloth, you just use it at any moon well, so they're just all over the place. Caverns of Time, Zangarmarsh, Terakar, where else? Fellwood, everywhere. You can find one. There's loads around. And then Spellcloth, that's not too bad. You just go to Neverstorm. You can use the cooldown anywhere in Neverstorm. It will just spawn an ad. Now, you don't even need to kill the ad to get your Spellcloth, so that's good. But it's worth killing because it drops like between 1 and 3 motes. So you're going to want those because that just goes towards your cooldowns. Because they are quite pricey, as in, you know, that all of them take a couple of primals, so 1 of each primal for each cloth. So, you know, all the primals you can get, the better, basically. Now for this next bit, just for speed, it will probably be a lot better if I just show you in game. So I'll show you in game in Atlas Loot all the different sets, the different things you can make with tailoring, and we'll just have a quick talk over it. So if you still want to pursue the path of a tailor, then you can. If you see the items and you're like, nah, do you know what? I'd probably rather tier 4, which you shouldn't because these are better. But, you know, that is an option. So let's jump in game and let's have a look at the items. Alright guys, so now we're in game. Let's have a quick look at the sets that you can actually make as Tailor. So we'll start with, if you was to go Shadow Weave tailoring, you know, decent amount of intellect, stamina, a couple of sockets with free spell hit bonus on, but then you get the 50 shadow damage, 50 frost damage. If you use all 3 pieces, shadow and frost spells heal you for 2% of the damage they deal. Obviously this is very nice. You know, the whole set as a whole is very nice. The amount of damage you get on them is very nice. So there's no reason you wouldn't, as a Shadow Priest or a non-fire Destro Warlock or even a Frost Mage, you know, you'd want these because they are very good. They do require Shadow Weave tailoring to use those, so it's not something that you could go Shadow Weave, you know, say you're a Priest, you can't go Shadow Weave and make these and then drop Shadow Weave and go Primal and make the healing set because the requirement to actually equip them is to be Shadow Weave tailoring. So that's not just for the set bonus, that's to equip the items completely. If you are a healer, so because it's got mana per 5 on, it's got intellect, or it's lacking crit. This is why I would probably say maybe Holy Paladins wouldn't be over the moon about these items, but they're still decent. But certainly for Shaman, Priest, Druid, you know, these are very nice. Low amounts of int and spirit, but you get them 2 sockets, massive plus healing. You know, 81 plus healing on a belt and 8 mana per 5 is huge. So really good. And then the free set allowing 5% of your mana regen to continue while casting. Obviously, again, huge. Helps you, stops you from going home. You know, nothing really much more to talk about. Or then you've got the Spellfire set. So now this increases fire and arcane damage. So now we're talking, straight away you're thinking Fire Mage. Yeah, Fire Mage, but also Fire Destro Warlock, and even a Boomkin. This set is really nice for Boomkin, mainly because when you look, you know, the free set increases your spell damage by up to 7% of your total intellect. So for these Starfire spamming Boomkins, this set is huge. It's huge. I mean, there is a set that they can use from level working, which would probably be my preference if I'm completely honest, but it is still good. Then I'm not going to talk too much about I mean, we can have a quick look at the rest of the set. So for the Frozen Shadow Weave, you've got the boots, which are really nice. For the Primal Mooncloth, you've got the shoulders. So these not got sockets or anything, but you can see 92 healing, 7 mana per 5. They're really nice. The Spellfire set, again, so these are the gloves. Crit, fire damage, arcane damage, you know, absolutely amazing. Couple of sockets as well. Shadow Weave robe. 72 shadow damage, 72 frost damage, 2 sockets. Absolutely massive. Massive, massive, massive. Same for the Primal Mooncloth robe, 121 plus healing on a robe. I mean, I can even tell you a comparison. So what I'm currently using is only 88 plus healing, and that's from Karazhan. So 88 plus healing versus 121 and 10 mana per 5. Huge, huge for healers. And then you've got the, what have I missed? The Spellfire robe. So Spellfire robe, again, fire damage, arcane damage, loads of crit, couple of sockets. It's immense. You know, all 3 of these sets are absolutely amazing for their respective classes. Now, the only other things, I was going to jump back out into the other view, but we might as well stay here and talk about it because they are items, so it's probably going to be easier to navigate in Atlas Loot. You've got a choice to make, and it's quite an important choice as well. Eldor or Scryers. Now, you would think, well, you know, you've done a video on that. I have. You can check it out. I'll put it in the description. But it's important for tailors more than probably any other class because it depends which way you go dictates what leg enchant you can make. So I'll show you the rare ones first because the rare ones are going to be the most affordable. So you've got the Mystic Spell Thread, which increases spell damage and healing by 25 and stamina by 15. And then you've got the Silver Spell Thread, which increases healing by 46, spell damage by 16, and stamina by 15. So you've got healing, Spell Thread, and a caster Spell Thread. So if you're a mage, you're probably not going to want to get the healing Spell Thread. So I'll just show you really quickly now. If we go to Reputations, if you was to go Eldor, you're going to get the Silver Spell Thread. So Eldor get the healing leg enchant. Scryers get the DPS leg enchant. But you're then obviously going to get the epic one when you're exalted. Now the epic one is where the moolah's at. A lot of people are going to be wanting to buy the blue one, you know, because it's affordable. You know, people might not be rolling in gold. But the epic ones are absolutely immense, but just more expensive. So you've now got Runic Spell Thread. which increases spell damage by 35 and 20 stamina. And then you've got the epic golden spell thread, increasing healing by 66 and stamina by 20. You know, that's huge. Now, there's other patterns you can get, obviously, from other reputations and stuff, but I did only want to talk about the really useful ones. So I'm going to show you another couple of items here, and then we'll jump back and I'll show you where you get those items from. But what complement these sets really well is a second set, which you can get the bonuses from. So you've got the Spell Strike set, which doesn't matter what specialization you are. So you could use this as a priest. You could, you know, a holy priest, even if you went primal mending, you know, even though it's a DPS set. And it's BOE as well. They're quite pricey to make, and they require a primal nether, as you can see, but they're really, really good. So the hood hasn't got a meta socket. Now that's probably one that could be the only downside to it, if I'm honest with you. But then you've got, you know, spell crit, 3 normal sockets, spell hit, massive damage, but it's the 2 set we're looking at. So it gives your spells, you know, a chance to increase your spell damage by 92, which, you know, you've now got another proc. So this is the hood and the legs. But, you know, massive amounts of damage, crit, hit, they're absolutely insane. And then the other one is the healing set. So White Men. So you've got White Men hood, White Men pants. I mean, look at the mana per 5. 11 mana per 5 on both items. 79 healing, 62 healing, 5 sockets in total. Yeah, again, crazy set. And the thing is, you're not going to break any of your actual set, you know, because you've got the shoulders, belt, and chest from the Primal Mooncloth. And then you'll be using the head and the legs. So you can go into a raid, literally, without ever killing a boss, pretty pimped out as a Tailor. For any of the specs, you know, mage, warlock, priest, whatever, you can really go in just a step ahead of everyone else straight away. And it's going to take some farming. It's primal mites. It's going to take some cooldowns from alchemists. It's going to take, you know, some heroic bosses, or normal bosses have got a small chance at the end. Bosses at level 70 instances have got a small chance of dropping a primal nether as well. So you could get lucky, but you can get some really, really, really sick gear, you know, really quickly. As I say, we'll jump back and I'll just show you how and where you get the patterns for those 4 pieces of gear that I was just showing you. Right, so if we look at the Spell Strike set, so the Spell Strike pants come from Murmur, which is the last boss in Shadow Labs. We've got the Spell Strike hood, which comes from Shattered Halls, so that drops from the Grand Warlock boss. Then we've got the White Men hood, which comes from the last boss in Botanica, and the White Men pants that drop from, I believe it's the 3rd boss in Alcatraz. I believe her name is Delia the Doomsayer, something like that. So quite easy to get. They drop in normal. They have a higher, or they used to have a higher drop chance on heroic, but you can get them on normal as well. Those patterns are definitely worth getting or aiming at for your specific class. So if you're a healer, you want to aim at getting the White Men set sort of as soon as possible alongside your Primal Mooncloth set. And to be fair, that's about it. You can make some overpowered gear. You can make good leg enchants. You can make good gold from leg enchants and bags, etc. Even the sort of lower level gear that you can sell on the auction house, or DE for dust. You know, you can really put all that cloth you get drop to good use. So overall, great profession. My sort of closing thoughts on it are, if you're a mage, warlock, priest, you should absolutely be going Tailor in. The other classes like shaman and druid that I mentioned, possibly. You know, you might want to go Tailor in, but I would say it's less of a requirement. As a druid, I would go level working. But that's just, obviously I would go level working on every class. Even if you're a Tailor in mage, you want to make sure you've got level working as your second profession so you can use drums. But that's for the level working video. So I'm going to leave it there because I could do this all day. We've looked at all the items. We know where they come from. All that. As always, thanks for watching. If you've watched till the end, thanks so much for your support. Make sure you like, subscribe, come watch me over on Twitch. All of that's down below, like I've said before. I'll see you on the next one.